Today, we're going to be reviewing ShowReels. Okay, so let's get on with our first one because there's never enough time. Are you ready, Assumpta?
I am ready.
I like my food.
Okay, that's not what I want. 1 second. All right, you ready?
Okay.
You good?
Yes.
You sure?
Go.
Okay, here we go.
Διονύση.
Τι δουλειά έχεις εδώ?
Καλά, αυτό έχεις να μου πεις που εξαφανίστηκες τόσες ημέρες.
Έλα, είχα πολλά στο κεφάλι μου.
Σοβαρά μου λες.
What?
We don't hear the actual. I don't hear anything. Perhaps it's because I'm not connected. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Just
She had one job.
5 minutes later.
5 minutes later.
Sorry. Talk among yourselves. No, we are doing it now. Okay, sorry. That was my fault. Let's go.
Okay, so meanwhile, can you hear now?
What is that? This is a smile.
Can you
smile.
hear now?
It's awful.
Can you hear now?
Yeah, of course.
Διονύση.
Τι δουλειά έχεις εδώ?
Καλά, αυτό έχεις να μου πεις που εξαφανίστηκες τόσες ημέρες.
Έλα, είχα πολλά στο κεφάλι μου.
Σοβαρά μου λες τώρα.
Στο Βερολίνο σκέφτηκα τις σχέσεις μας και είδα ότι δεν βγαίνει παρακάτω. Καλύτερα το αφήσουμε εδώ πέρα.
Πριν λίγες ημέρες σχεδιάζαμε να μετακομίσουμε, να κάνουμε γάμο, να κάνουμε παιδιά.
Η αλήθεια είναι ότι είπα πολλά και δεν μπορούσα να τα πάρω πίσω.
Να τα πάρεις πίσω.
Δυστυχώς μου τελείωσε. Εντάξει, δεν έκανα και κανένα έγκλημα.
Και αφού σου τελείωσε, δεν είχες τα κότσια να έρθεις να μου πεις ότι τελείωσε.
Δεν ήθελα να αντιμετωπίσω όλο αυτό που συμβαίνει τώρα. Εντάξει, ας το αφήσουμε εδώ πέρα. Sorry, έχω και ραντεβού. Πρέπει να φύγω. Γεια.
Τον κοίταζα και δεν πίστευα ότι ήταν αυτός. Η αδιαφορία του, τα λόγια που βγαίνουν από το στόμα, το ύφος του. Το χειρότερο δεν είναι ότι χωρίσαμε, είναι ότι εξαφανίστηκε. Θα έχεις περάσει στα 40 και θα έχω τελειώσει σαν γυναίκα, Ευχαριστώ που μου το θυμίζεις κάθε τόσο. Πάντως ο χώρος είναι υπέροχος. Έχεις κάνει εξαιρετική δουλειά. Συγχαρητήρια, Διονύση.
Χαίρομαι που σου αρέσει, αλλά για να είμαι ειλικρινής, χαίρομαι πιο πολύ που είμαστε εδώ εκτός γραφείου.
Έλα τώρα, έτσι όπως τα λες, είναι λες και πια ήθελα να σε σνομπάρω. Αρχίσεις και ερωτεύομαι το Διονύση, αλλά φοβάμαι και να μην πληγωθώ. Θέλω να το πάμε αργά, για να σιγουρευτώ πρώτα αν αυτός ο άντρας πραγματικά αξίζει το κόπο.
Ελένη, δεν παίζω μαζί σου. Έχω σοβαρό σκοπό. Θέλω να γίνεις η μητέρα των παιδιών μου.
Τι είπες?
Αλήθεια.
Ήρχονται μπροστά της.
Συγγνώμη τόσο πολύ για όλα.
Γιατί ζητάς συγγνώμη?
Γιατί τόσο καιρό απλώς σε ταλαιπωρώ.
Δεν με ταλαιπωρείς. Απλά θέλω να καταλάβεις τι θέλω εγώ από σένα.
Μόλις κατάλαβα ότι αυτό που θέλεις εσύ το θέλω κι εγώ.
Αλήθεια.
Ναι.
Και βίασε η Ελένη.
Έλα, αγάπη μου, τι κάνεις, έφτασες? Τι, δεν... Δηλαδή δεν είσαι καλά? Ακόμα και από τη δουλειά έχεις σταματήσει χωρίς να μου πει λέξη. Είναι δυνατόν να εξαφανιστεί έτσι?
Ρε, είχες καταλάβει τώρα τελευταία να απομακρύνεται από εσένα?
Όχι, καλέ. Ίσα-ίσα είχαμε έρθει πολύ κοντά. Ψάχναμε και για μεγαλύτερο σπίτι να νοικιάσουμε.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Oh, no, you don't want me to fight with you right now? You'd be right. I don't want to fight you. I'm gonna end you right now. I see things. Oh, she-devil. You're the devil, and I'm the angel of God. So I think it's time that you die.
Right.
That is very weird, Amelia. I never seen a video. I mean, a showreel like that. Okay.
Amelia, you take the biscuit. I've always wanted to say this. It's all Greek to me. I'm sorry. It's a very cheap joke. Right. Technical stuff. Like the Greek TV show is super dramatic, right? It's super dramatic to the point where it's a little tweak more and it's full-blown comedy, okay? That's not to say that you're silly or ridiculous or anything like that. It's just got to do when it's decontextualized like this. That compared with it, it's very dramatic, the acting and everything that seems to be going on. And also the music is, it's like, please.
It's too obvious, for us. I mean, it's just for you to understand that the taste of each country is different. But I mean, also, there is certain things that if you want really this to show, it depends on the objective. If that is a show reel that is going to be only in your country, I'm sure that perhaps, culturally there is a lot of things that, that they are fine, like the music and the, but for us, it's really, shocking to have all this obvious music into the thing.
No, and then I'm sure that's what it came with because of the way I hear.
No, it's not your fault at all.
It's the way I hear the sound is edited, and obviously you can't take it out. Okay, there's a couple of different things, and we're going to move through them. The first thing I want to deal with is the photograph because it's the same photograph that you also sent me when we transferred me the demo. And thank you for that. I want to deal with that, and I want to deal with the way you look in the photo and the way you look at the end in the monologue and the way you look in the rest of it, okay? Because they're certainly different things. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go, what we normally do is we watch it, we have our first reactions, then we're going to go through it and say what we think works, doesn't work, and what we think we need to change, okay? So hopefully, Anelia, hopefully you're there and you're okay. All right, so let's go ahead and watch this.
Okay, so this picture is fine. It's fine. It gives you light. It's okay. There is not too much light into the eyes, which is a pity because you have wonderful eyes.
Yeah.
So it needs a little bit more. So it's kind of a picture for us for Instagram or for Facebook, which is great. But for a professional, we want a quality that that we can actually you can pop up. Right now, what is popping up is your pink. Jersey, or pink Adidas, whatever is this thing.
This pink over here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that is too much present for us. What we want is that your eyes, your expression, it comes really alive. It comes from really light inside you, and that is a job also photographer and professional photographer, and also that the image is more how you say that. Cuidada?
You take more care of the image.
Take more care of the image, yes. So the light and the costume, so that it doesn't really.
We can't express how important a good photograph is. It's more important than a good demo. Trust me. As a good photograph, a photograph that you're pleased with, or a set of photographs that you're pleased with, that you're happy to show to anybody, that's more important than anything else. Because that's what people are going to live with. When people look you up, because that's what everybody does right now. They look, let's look up Anelia Samaropoulos. Okay, let's go and look her up. Oh, they're going to find that. The question is, what else are they going to find? Okay, so you need to start taking care of that. Things are different now. Before, the only way somebody would have your photograph would be if you'd actually sent it to them in an envelope. Now, well...
The envelope, there were some tricks. The envelope would just, have it one side. It was clear so that you can see what was inside
that
your
people
picture.
Could see the envelope.
Yes.
They could see your picture without opening the envelope.
Exactly.
It was literally like you sent somebody an email and they were immediately forced to look at your picture.
Yes.
Those days are gone, but they're much cheaper now because that used to cost a lot of money.
Yes.
So
a lot of investment.
So think of getting some photos done. I know you're in Athens right now. Okay, I'm sure you're going to be able to find somebody who can do some good photos.
To do some photos, it's not only the light, it's not only the costumes and the job of makeup. It's also remember that you are communicating something, communicating what you want to sell. You are communicating who you are and what are the profiles, the roles that you can actually act up in. No? So for that, what is interesting is that you really have to think it out. You have to think, okay, what is the image in my age, in my particular culture, in the market that I have that I want to impact? What is exactly my difference? What is exactly what I want to communicate? Okay, because we are certainly tired of seduction, but something that is from the heart, authentic, that it reveals who you are, is very good to locate you and to remember you. As Scott was saying, always a picture is something that you have. So you know what I mean. That it's nice that you can actually think about it, long enough, so that you are really proud of your sending, and it corresponds exactly on the roles that the market can give you.
Yeah. Crystal Williams over there in Louisiana says, highlights a very good point, which is it's a good idea not to wear anything with a brand or a trademark.
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't know about you.
Yes.
But one thing that you and I have always done is we've always resisted putting other people's names on our clothes. I wouldn't even put my own name on my clothes. And I don't understand why other people necessarily do it. I don't. Yes. I'm not a big fan of that. We're always attracted to bright, shiny things, images or names. We always go to them. Like if you're wearing a T-shirt with something that's written on it, people will read your T-shirt first. It's one of the confusing things I always explain to people about nose rings, because it draws attention to your nose. Earrings draw attention to your eyes because they sort of frame your eyes. A necklace frames your face. A bracelet frames your hand. And, it's like a stocking frames your thigh, if we could say that. But the trouble with things like logos, whatever they might be, is that's what we immediately look at. That's how we kind of judge you.
So no logos, no bright colors. You really have to, unless you want to say, that you are, absolute funny person, and and it's everything has to go with the color, because the colors also talk. So everything has to be thought out before doing it. The profiles are the most interesting things to find out about yourself. How do you do that? Well, that is a job of ours, really, to understand what you want, what the market wants, and what you really can do or you cannot do. So that is what we do in a program that is called Act Now, which is management of your career, because the presentation is very, very important. Not only the show reel, but also the pictures. So it's a science. You have to really study your market, study yourself, and think hard in what you want to communicate.
You also need to work out the sort of actor that you are, the actor that you want to be. Initially, we're actors because we're trying to be something other than what we are. But in reality, the thing that's the most powerful, useful, and sellable is the thing that's closest to who we are. And I'm going to mention this when we continue to watch your show reel here, because there's certain things which is illustrated to me in the way that you perform it in your acting. Shall we continue?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let me just reverse.
So adjust this picture.
Διονύση.
Τι δουλειά έχεις εδώ?
Καλά, αυτό έχεις να μου πεις που εξαφανίστηκες τόσες ημέρες.
Right, okay. First thing, technically, I don't know whether you subtitled this. Right? Subtitling is difficult and sometimes traumatic. It's time-consuming and it's not a lot of fun. What you need to try and do is you need to try and make it as succinct as possible, as readable as possible, and as identifiable as possible. The trouble is what you have here is you have 2 lines of dialogue on the screen. Okay, nobody does that. Is that all you've had to tell me after you've disappeared for so many days? Come on, I had a lot in my mind. You need to put one after the other, otherwise we don't get the idea that it's a dialogue.
And if there is so much dialogue in one frame, then we cannot see your acting, which is a pity. So that's what you want them really to be focused on. So No,
I'm sure this is not going to matter if we're dealing with the Greek market, the Greek audience, etc. I'm sure this is not an issue. I'm sure probably everybody knows what this TV show is. I'm sure they know what it's like and how it works. Okay, so one of the things you got to deal with is to fix that to make it more readable. It's a pain. It's technical and it's not easy, but it's something that you should deal with to make it easier to make it more accessible.
Πολλά στο κεφάλι μου.
Σοβαρά μου λες τώρα?
Στο Βερολίνο σκέφτηκα τις σχέσεις μας και είδα ότι δεν βγαίνει παρακάτω. Καλύτερα το αφήσουμε εδώ πέρα.
Πριν λίγες ημέρες σχεδιάζαμε να μετακομίσουμε, να κάνουμε γάμο, να κάνουμε παιδιά.
Η αλήθεια είναι ότι είπα πολλά και δεν μπορούσα να τα πάρω πίσω.
Να τα πάρεις πίσω?
Δυστυχώς μου τελείωσε. Εντάξει, δεν έκανα και κανένα έγκλημα.
Και αφού σου τελείωσε, δεν είχες τα κότσια να έρθεις να μου πεις ότι τελείωσε?
Δεν ήθελα να αντιμετωπίσω όλο αυτό που συμβαίνει τώρα. Εντάξει, ας το αφήσουμε εδώ πέρα. Sorry, έχω και ραντεβού, πρέπει να φύγω. Γεια.
Τον κοίταζα και δεν πίστευα ότι ήταν αυτός. Η αδιαφορία.
I think it's interesting that sorry it seems to be the same in Greek. I'm not sure whether that's an Anglicism, but that's pretty interesting. This is a very tough scene to subtitle because there's a lot of blah blah blah. It's also my advice would be to not lead with this scene.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you why. It's because you're not attractive there. I don't mean physically or anything like that. You're not appealing as a person because you're in a state of, you're berating him, you're nagging him, you're getting on his case and all the rest of it. And we already got it. Yes. After 5-10 seconds, we already got what the story is there.
Yes, and there is no surprises. And remember, the job of an actor, the only truly job is you have to generate questions to your audience. So if you don't do that, if at the first, when you open your mouth for your attitude, we already know what's going on, and there is no surprises there, and we wait 2 or 3 phrases, and you are in the same estado de ánimo.
Emotional state.
Then you are not informing us anything, and everything then is too long because we already got it. So I would say that because it was really unbelievable, this scene, and it was perhaps you could.
No. The thing that made the scene, makes the scene overwhelming is the music.
Also, yes.
The music is saying, look at this. This is incredibly dramatic.
Yeah, ta 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 ta, and and we are taking aback for all these obvious things, and we instead of going there, we just I think that it's powerful when there is a discussion that people want to see how the reactions are, because we have a lot of discussions in our lives, and we want to understand how are the reactions of the others, what it could happen. We are interacting with something like that because there is the need, the urgency, but in top of the music, it's underlined so many times, and there is only one thing that we get bored.
Let's keep going and see what we would, if there's something that we would prefer to kick off with.
Τα λόγια που βγαίνουν από το στόμα, το ύφος.
This is another thing which is very tricky, okay, in terms of subtitling. It's very difficult when we have white subtitles on top of a white background. This is why I always recommend that if you can look, it's like this. You see this? This is subtly translucent. Okay, hello Carlos, ¿cómo estás?
Hola Carlos.
Yeah, so you see, you can still see through it, okay? But what it does is it's going to illuminate, it's going to hold up the white lettering on top of it. Highly recommend that. It's another thing which is a bit of a pain. I don't know how you're subtitling, probably in some kind of editing program. I'm sure there's an option to do that. There usually is.
Don't put too many texts in one single frame,
I was looking at him and couldn't believe it was him. His indifference, the words coming from his mouth, the way he looked at me.
You see, and there is also oiko senea kef.
You see, for example, I would say, I was looking at him and couldn't believe it was him. I would reduce that to, I couldn't believe it was him. What he said, the way he looked at me. Okay, now I got all the things that you said in the essence of it in English. Mm-hmm. Okay, don't be afraid to, I'm going to put ourselves up here. Don't be afraid to take out the essence of what you're saying and turn it into something readable. Now, I know a person who speaks Greek will go, that's not exactly what he said. Yeah, I know.
But that is all depending on your objectives. You want that to go, across the frontiers and getting into Europe, different countries, and the people can see you, can understand what you're talking about. Then that is the objective. And so you have also to make it readable, understandable, funny, and not complicated. I mean, people don't have time.
No, they don't have time. Not even slightly.
There's too many things here, you see.
Το χειρότερο δεν είναι ότι χωρίσαμε.
I cannot see your acting.
Είναι ότι
I cannot see your acting because I'm distracted on the too many words, and I don't know Greek, so I'm trying to also understand Greek, which is so I cannot see you, at the result of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Εξαφανίστηκε.
Then.
Θα έχεις περάσει 40.
Okay, so we've got this little thing that comes in here. How it all started for Eleni. I didn't know you were called Eleni. So you're talking about somebody. I don't know who Eleni is.
I think at the beginning it says something about Eleni, but let's see in the beginning. I think it says it. Eleni, you see, the first.
All right, let's just watch this. Let's see how much time we got to read this. Eleni Samaropoulos, showreel, contents, role of Eleni in... Okay, there we go.
That's it.
Okay.
You cannot, too many words.
If you're going to put a lot of stuff on screen and you hope they're going to read it, right, you need to give it enough time. And if it's too much time, people will jump forward.
Exactly.
Okay? So this all may sound obvious from where we're sitting. But I always equate it to like the movie Pulp Fiction. Vincent Jules, they accidentally shoot Marvin in the back of the car, and the car's covered with blood and brains, and they don't know what to do, so they call the wolf. The wolf tells them to clean it, cover it in blankets, take their clothes off, and he'll get rid of the body, and it'll all be fine. Now, from the outside, you go, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? You go, yeah, but you didn't just shoot somebody in the back of a car. The trouble is that when we're editing, when we're working as actors, so much of the time is we're dealing with those moments of stress, so we're not thinking straight. Particularly when we're editing something, or somebody else is editing something which may be for the first time.
Yes, and also you as a person who wants really to have it done, that you wait perhaps a long time. These things that happen when you do a show reel, you don't have the head to actually understand, what is wrong or what is right sometimes. That's why it's always good in a picture, in a biography, in a CV, in everything that you have to present to other people, try it first. Give it to people, wait for their feedback, and understand that it's not the actual end of it. Because it gives a little bit of time, and you have to hear this feedback because it's going to be great for you, and it's going to be defining your objective.
Okay, Anelia, who's with us, she says, yes, I absolutely
want to go to Europe.
You're already there. She's in Athens. I mean, you can't get more European than that. As George W. Bush said, I don't think the Greeks are ready for democracy. He actually said that, apart from the fact that they invented it. Right, so here we go.
So here, Eleni and Dionysius, yes, and then is E and D. You understand what you're thinking, but people don't think that like that. People have to see your picture, have to see who is she. Oh, I don't see her. She's mad at this man. All these things is what is going on in the mind of, and that's what you want them to think. You don't want them to think Eleni E Dionysius the so Eleni must be a woman, Dionysius must be a man. We don't know that. See, for us it's Elena and Dionisio, and in English it's going to be another thing. So you know what I mean? It's how we identify that? Well, we as long as cinema is cinema, we identify that in the moment that you have the close-up or this person speaks, then there is the actual words translated, and that's how we know. We don't know by D or E or anything like that.
No, because we haven't established that.
Yeah, so just forget it. It's words that distracts from what you want them to see, which is you acting.
Here's an idea.
Τον κοίταζα και δεν πίστευα ότι ήταν αυτό.
If I was gonna start somewhere, this is a possible starting point. Okay, I'm not too interested in Dionysus. I don't really care. I love his name. It's kind of relevant, but I'm not a big fan. So I would actually start, if I was going to start it, from what I've got so far, I would start it.
That immediately identifies as you being the lead, as you talking.
Yeah, I would start
Το που
it.
συμβαίνει τώρα. Εντάξει, ας το αφήσουμε εδώ πέρα.
Right.
Sorry, έχω και ραντεβού. Πρέπει να φύγω.
Sorry.
Γεια.
Right. Start here.
Τον κοίταζα και δεν πίστευα ότι ήταν αυτός.
¿Por qué? Why? We're arriving at the end of the scene. One of the secrets of writing dramatically, and I shouldn't have to tell this to a Greek, is that you arrive late and you leave early. Okay? So I don't need to see your fight. The aftermath and the end of the fight is all I need to see. I just need to see the end of the fight and then you talking about the fight. Okay? That works much better for me. It's much more interesting because it means we can go, oh, what exactly happened? But what happens is it's a little bit like you have the fight, then you talk about the fight.
Remember,
Pick one or the other. And this is not so much for you, Anelia. This is more for the folk who wrote it. But you get an idea because what it does is this moment of you at the end is I get a chance to see you. I get a chance to, dream a little bit about who you might be. Okay? So we go back seconds. And apart from that, there's like a moment of silence.
exactly, which is very good for a cut.
Yeah, you've got that coming in.
Κοίταζα και δεν πίστευα ότι ήταν αυτός. Η αδιαφορία του, τα λόγια που βγαίνουν από το στόμα, το ύφος του. Το χειρότερο δεν είναι ότι χωρίσαμε, είναι ότι εξαφανίστηκε.
Okay, what about to put this title of whatever it is, which is, I suppose you say in yellow, the network or the title of the series or the actual movie. Why you don't do it at the beginning, and you let the people. Oh, so that is a series. Okay, let's see.
No. I think that's what it is. It's attempted to do a kind of full news report. I think it's like a fake kind of news interview sort of thing. It's quasi-documentary format. It's all handheld.
Perhaps yes. Perhaps it's instead of being like a dramatic thing, perhaps it's like a
docudrama
like
thing.
a docudrama thing.
So that's what I would say here when we got that. It's going to be like a news, going to say who it is. I'm not entirely sure it is. Elena, that's that in Greek there. Okay, but you understand it. So she's now being interviewed by somebody.
Yeah, I think that I would also do, like you say, the first image there.
Είναι ότι εξαφανίστηκε.
Θα έχεις περάσει 40 και θα έχω τελειώσει σαν γυναίκα,
Right. I'm not a fan of this white screen. Okay, so she says yes, it has a description of what the character is feeling, etc. Okay, fine. It's a little bit weird. We should be able to tell that
Without actually saying it.
Without it being implicit, but okay, all right, fine. I'm sure it's some format from somewhere else, or maybe it's completely original, but it's a bit odd. Now, the next scene, look, I don't like this. I'm going to tell you, just from taste-wise, I don't like this. How it all started for Eleni. Right?
40.
I don't like the cut, and I don't like the cut to white. I think it's ugly. Okay? It just doesn't look good. If you're going to cut to something, cut to black. Okay? It's less of a shock on the eye. I know that sounds weird, but it's just...
I know that you want to tell a story.
I get that.
And we, and it's also so good. But remember, we are not here to tell a story. A showreel is not to tell a story. A showreel is to show, exactly, showreel, show who are you as an actress.
Yeah.
And what you can do as an actress, and who are you, and how are you, that's what we want to see. Those are the questions as a casting directors or as a directors or, someone that can employ you, exactly, what they want to see. So they don't want to actually see a story, I know it's entertaining, but it's entertaining for, then you are a writer. No, they don't want to do that. They want you to be an actor, that's all.
Yeah, getting back here, change the font. I don't like the font. Okay, the font's too informal. Okay, it's a handwriting font. It's not exactly Comic Sans, although it might be, but there's also too much information there. It's also centrally justified, but it's on the left-hand side. What do I mean by that? I mean that the letters are going down the middle in the left-hand column. What I would want them to do would be to be justified to the left to make them easier to read.
But those are credits. Those are credits of what you're going to see.
Yeah.
Put it at the end. At the beginning,
that's good. Yeah,
at the beginning, what they want to see is you, okay,
Yeah.
and you as an actress. So, don't matter about stories. Don't matter about, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, back at minute 101. Okay. Just not a fan of this. It would be better white on black, but I don't like the font, and it's also too much of a jarring cut. The other reason you want to go to
when we say is it works or it doesn't work. So it means that that is very distracting, and that's all we remember, about you. And we don't want that. We want to remember you as an actress, not the story that you're telling.
I suppose I'm saying I don't like it because it really, really doesn't work.
Exactly.
I usually don't say I don't like things, but I also have a personal taste thing going on here right now. But I think it's too jarring on the eye. That's why I wouldn't go to white. Okay? Just a simple technical thing. Don't go to white.
Έχεις περάσει 40 και θα έχω τελειώσει σαν γυναίκα, Ευχαριστώ που μου το θυμίζεις κάθε τόσο.
Πάντως ο χώρος είναι...
Right, okay, you got to be careful with this, okay? Because you got a very, very short scene. The trouble is you got a very, very short scene. You're not really sharing anything with us. The character's not really sharing anything with us. You as the actress is not really sharing anything with us. I don't know how much experience you've got on camera. Tell us in the comments right now how much experience you got with camera, what your training is, or all these different things, because I don't know a great deal about you, and I'd be interested to know what it was. Because one of the things that strikes me is that you're giving everything far too much voice. Okay? That's giving it this drive and this impetus, and what you're doing is you're rising towards the performance as opposed to letting the acting start from somewhere more internal, more inside, where the voice is much closer to yours. Now, I don't know whether you are used to in your life speaking English more or Greek more, because you seem to be completely bilingual and competent in both of them. But there's something which is a little quiet exercise that you need to do on your own, is to try and work out what your voice is when it has very little volume. Mm-hmm. Okay? What I call the quiet voice, wouldn't you say?
Exactly.
Would you say that?
Exactly. Edu Spina says, the music reminds me of the Mexican telenovelas of the 90s. Yes, we are used to have all these, that's what you have to feel. That's what you have to think. That's what you have to, and we don't like that because, we had it in the 90s and 80s. And so right now we are a little bit more subtle. And I think that if you want to have a career also in Europe, you have to adjust a little bit to the taste of the people that have seen all this and, rejected it.
I've seen Dogtooth. I know how it goes. Okay, there we go.
Anelia says, I never had one acting lesson, and I've never had any acting experience aside from being in the chorus in a theatre production in London. I was born and raised in London, UK, and moved to Greece when I was 18. Okay.
Wow. I salute you. You're absolutely nuts. I love that. Okay, that's good. That's good. You've got to you got to make sure that whatever you're doing doesn't seem to be coming from a point of panic. That's an important thing. The good thing about training or coaching or any other kind of on-camera sort of acting that you could learn about is you get to learn what you do well. Okay, it's one thing to be in the chorus and the West End on stage, because it's very much, as we say, tits and teeth, all looking out front and giving it your best. There's another thing which has to happen on camera, and I've said this before, that the difference between acting on stage and acting for cameras is acting for stage is convex in the sense that we reach them, and for camera it's concave, which means the camera is constantly searching for you. And what that means is that when you understand that, whatever you're doing becomes fascinating. Because really what we're dealing with is we're not dealing in the realm of a word. We're dealing in the realm of thought and the realm of idea.
Exactly. So because it's thought, you are sharing thoughts with us. So it's not important, the volume is not important, the importance is it's more like a laser than a machete. What we want really to see is the delicacies, is the subtlety, is the actual what is going to happen, with you in the in this interaction with the other person. So sometimes what we that I think it gives you what you told us. I understand now, because if you never had one acting lesson, you never had any acting experience aside from being in the course in a theatre production in London. Well, and if you want to dedicate that, for a video, for a showreel, you really need to be a little bit more professional to really show your goods, to show what you are able to do as an actress.
There's a curious thing which has happened, because there's a false economy that we all have, in the sense that we have these digital cameras, abilities to record sound, audio, better at hand, more readily, and at a higher quality than ever before in human history. It's extraordinary what we have. It's mind-blowing how good the stuff is. I mean, look at this. We're live right now. We're live. Live.
Yes.
Live.
Impossible before.
And this is extraordinary. So the trouble with that is that it's a false economy, in the sense that we can in many ways do more impressive things, but the content still has to rise to the challenge. Those are the important things. And what you need to do is you need to work out what it is that you do. That's really, really important, because otherwise you're going to be doing it from a very instinctual point of view, which, and unfortunately, most instinctual acting comes from fear, panic, nervousness, and a great unknowing of the context in which you're working.
And we don't want that. We want actors that they control lights, they control camera, they understand what is sharing, what does it mean to share with the audience a thought. You have to be athlete of what you are doing, and what you are doing is actually communicating with someone. So you have to be as subtle as what you do, when you are communicating one to one. All these thoughts, all these reactions that you have when something is not good for you, this instant of thought, the hesitation, the uncertainty of a thought, that's what we believe that is truth.
And one of the problems is that when we don't completely control or understand what is necessary and what we have to do in any given moment, is that we tend to start acting like we're pulling off a Band-Aid. Right, we're pulling off a sticking plaster. We have to get it out as quickly as possible and with as much force as possible. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, let me just take this to where we were before.
Υπέροχος. Έχεις κάνει εξαιρετική δουλειά. Συγχαρητήρια, Διονύση.
Right.
Κάθε τόσο.
Πάντως.
Don't like the cut. The cut doesn't work. It's too jarring, and we cut to white again. If you can, fade from one to the other, and be careful that the sound doesn't give us that. Okay. Sound is only important when it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. We only notice sound when it's bad or it's not doing what it's supposed to do. It's a fairly simple technical thing.
Ο όρος είναι υπέροχος. Έχεις κάνει εξαιρετική δουλειά. Συγχαρητήρια, Διονύση.
Χαίρομαι που σου αρέσει, αλλά να είμαι ειλικρινής, χαίρομαι πιο πολύ που είμαστε εδώ εκτός γραφείου.
Έλα τώρα, έτσι όπως τα λες, είναι λες και πια ήθελα να σε σνομπάρω. Αρχίσει και ερωτεύομαι το Διονύση, αλλά φοβάμαι και να μην πληγωθώ. Θέλω να το πάμε αργά, για να σιγουρευτώ πρώτα αν αυτός ο άντρας πραγματικά αξίζει το κόπο.
Ελένη, δεν παίζω μαζί σου. Έχω σοβαρό σκοπό. Θέλω να γίνεις η μητέρα των παιδιών μου.
Τι είπες?
Αλήθεια.
Κοντέ μπροστά της.
Συγγνώμη τόσο πολύ για όλα.
Okay, so the problem is there, you can't get rid of the voiceover because it's on top of the music. Yes. And the music is on top of you speaking.
Yeah, so that's the way it was, produced.
Yeah,
and
it's very, very tricky.
Yeah.
We've had to deal with that sort of thing in the past, and editing is very, very uncomfortable because you can't really do anything with it. Sometimes what you have to do is say for example, you've got a nice or useful image, you might use the image and put a completely different set of sounds on top of it. That's something that can be done. But I'm still trying to see you as an actress.
Yeah, I still, I
still
have,
not seeing you.
Yes. So, you cannot do that.
I can't tell what kind of actress you are. Think about it, Nelia. Think about, can you see what this person's really like? Okay, because you're not.
What does he want? What does this person want in any given question? If you got it already, you don't have to be 3 minutes saying and repeating the same thing. You see, of course, that is a story. I suppose that they hire you to do that, and it was your first job, and you try to do your best to really put it in bits so that makes a little bit of a sense. But that is not a demo reel. I mean a show reel. Show reel, you have to have some indication of how good you are, and that is only one touch. So we need more, and it doesn't arrive, so we get tired. You see?
Right. So let's just take this to the end here.
Okay.
Και βίασε η Ελένη.
Έλα, αγάπη μου, τι κάνεις, έφτασες? Τι, δηλαδή δεν είσαι καλά? Ακόμα και από τη δουλειά έχεις σταματήσει.
You look so different with your hair down, with your hair up.
Yes.
It's day and night. It's
you do
extraordinary.
different things, you have different things. You have surprise there, you have unbelievedness, you have discussions with your confidences with a friend, discussions with your mother. You have different states, you have different things. I think it's a mixture of the sound that is taken, very loud, I think, and also this music that it kind of puts it all in the same bag instead of having different moments, you see, and we cannot actually differentiate them. We see all kind of in a confusion thing.
Yeah, it's very, very, very unrewarding.
For you, and what we want is you to see you, and I think you got some moments, but the way that this is presented is
it's kicking our ass.
Yeah.
Χωρίς να μου πει λέξη. Είναι δυνατόν να εξαφανιστεί έτσι?
You see, this is the other thing, is that now we're doing the same desperate, I can't believe what's happened acting. Yeah. We've already seen it. It's better than the other one. Now you're telling somebody else. What you tend to find with these sorts of docudramas is they're very reiterative in the sense that they will have a tendency to reinforce what's happening. God forbid you got commercial breaks, because they'll come back and previously, and they will do it over and over and over again. And we're like, yes, we know. We know that. I don't know what everyday Greek life is. It's like it's trying to be louder than everyday life.
Yes. You have to shoot other things. That would be my advice.
Right.
Not only that.
Okay, so
Καλέ, ίσα-ίσα είχαμε έρθει πολύ κοντά. Ψάχναμε και για μεγαλύτερο σπίτι να νοικιάσουμε.
Okay.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
This just confused me.
Yes, it seems that it's the same story, but then it's not.
No, now it says time for a monologue.
Okay.
I don't know what this is or what it's supposed to do, right? The thing is, it's kind of like a self-tape, but it's got cuts in it, okay? The cuts should really only be there for comedic or storytelling purposes, right? Okay, so tell us if you're out there, and Elia, if you're still listening, because I can see you there on YouTube, tell us, what the heck is this? Because I don't understand what's going on.
I think it's a self-tape, right?
Yeah, but I don't know what it is.
You don't want me to fight with you right now? It'd be right. I don't want to fight you. I want to end you right now. I see things.
Right. First cardinal sin. I don't understand what you're saying. There's things I don't understand. Mm-hmm. Okay? There's a point where energy doesn't make up for decisions that haven't been made. Who are you talking to? Who are you? What you're trying to achieve. Now, this might be ridiculous. I don't know. You might be a vampire hunter or whatever. I don't know. Even if that's the case, you still have to come up with a relatively logical reasoning behind it, because you have to convince me that you are who you're pretending to be.
The thing is, there is no problem if we don't understand what is going on, in the story. But what we want to understand is what this woman wants. and I don't understand it in this monologue. I don't want to. If you want to fight, you want to. I don't believe you with this cross.
I don't know who you're talking to.
So for me, it is.
Right. Let me just tell you this. Okay. So you grew up in London. Now you're in Greece, right?
You don't want me to fight with you right now?
Right. So I see we're going for like a sort of a fight with me right now. I see you're gonna. This is where I would actually have to go to Crystal. Because I think Crystal might know this accent better than anybody.
Where do you think you're going? Oh, no, you don't want me to fight with you right now?
You don't want me to fight with you right now? So we're going to be talking like that. So where are you going? So the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to decide. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you kindly. You're going to have to decide where you're from. Right? You're going to have to decide what it is. And if you're going to do an accent, it has to be consistent across all of it. Okay? So Southern accent. Don't just go Southern American, right? Pick somewhere. Right? Really go pick somewhere. Go watch Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil with the Clint Eastwood movie with Jude Law. It's interesting because you get to hear an English actor doing his best, Louisiana accent. You get to hear him talking like that, and you're going to discover the way that he sounds and the things that he starts to sound like. And what you got to do is you have to try and integrate it in everything you're doing. You can't half do it. You can't half do it because you're going to sound like an English person who spent time in Louisiana or vice versa.
Yes,
right? It's you got to commit to it, which means it's going to be extreme for you. Okay? But these are the things that we do as actors. That sounds like Texas. Yeah, I've been listening to too much Matthew McConaughey. All right. Okay. It'd be an ideal time for me to take my shirt off, Mr. Soderbergh. Okay. One of the great things, I got to tell you, one of the great things about Clubhouse is that there's rooms I go to where they talk about accents. So it's Americans who are doing British accents, British people who are doing American accents. Everybody's all mixed in. So everybody is in a very informal way sort of critiquing and helping each other with their accents. It's very, very cool. This is the great thing that we have right now. If you want to find out what a Texas accent, a Louisiana accent, what they sound like in New Orleans, just YouTube, go look it up, imitate them. And this is the same thing if English is your second language. Go and listen to people speaking English. Imitate it. Learn how to imitate it. That's how we learn to do everything, is we imitate it, particularly our accents. Meanwhile, back here, I want to finish up here.
It'd be right. I don't want to fight you. I'm going to end you right now.
What? That I don't understand.
I want to interact you? I don't understand what that means. Hang on. Let me see if I can work it out.
I'm going to end you right now. Out with you right now? It'd be right. I don't want to fight you. I'm going to end you right now.
I don't understand what that means. I don't understand.
I want.
It's like I want to interact you. Sorry. Look, one of the things is I want to end you. No, I don't think it's end you. There's like an extra syllable there. It could be, but that's what Crystal would say. I want to end you.
I see things. Oh, she devil. You're the devil, and I'm the angel of God.
Right. Okay. This is for you and Ilya, and I can tell you this because you don't have a lot of acting training, so this is good. Okay, so I know you won't be offended by this. At any given moment, when we're acting, we have to decide what we're doing. We're persuading, we're menacing, we're threatening, we're seducing, we're explaining, we're justifying, we're confessing, we're telling a secret. Right? We have to choose any one of a number of different actions to do. And that's the thing that drives what we're saying. What we're saying doesn't drive what we do. What we want drives what we're going to say and the way that we say it.
So if what you want is not being chosen, then we get lost. You see? Because we don't understand what really is in your mind, apart from the text that we see in the surface. But we want to, we want to be investigators of what we are seeing. That's what the spectator does. That's their job. no? And so what you have to provoke into the mind of the one that is seeing you, who is watching you, is questions all the time. Generate questions. Oh, that's what she wants. Oh, that is, but good questions, not what did she say? No, that's the other one.
And what creates the question is, what is this person want? Why are they doing what they're doing? And the first person you have to convince is yourself. If you can convince yourself that you just heard something, you'll convince them. Mm-hmm. That's what you got to do. Is you've got to learn how to convince yourself. You have to do it with the same level of accuracy
and commitment
and authenticity that you would if you're playing a joke on someone. They have to believe that what you're saying, you're really saying it. Now, that might sound obvious, but you'd be amazed at the people who've spent years studying acting that nobody's ever told them that. That what you've really got to do is convince everybody that it's really you talking. Seems easy, right? Or at least it should be.
The problem is that when we learn a text, we put it in some place that we go there to remember it. And we don't do that in normal life. We don't have this space where we place text, right? Where we get it from. No. The things come from another place. And so all this organic way of actually saying something is completely contradictory on the way that you memorize something. So you see, it's not only to memorize, is to actually match. Why you are saying this? What do you want? If you didn't choose that nothing makes sense. Yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so...
Well, it's 9.
Can we do one more?
Well, I don't want to go quickly.
Okay, well, let's do Ian. Okay? Josh, the brilliant comedy reel from last week, he sent us his drama reel, but you're going to have to wait, Josh. We're going to do it next week. But I'm interested in Ian because he sent me this a little while ago. Okay, and this is interesting because this is a North American reel, and I'm kind of interested in this. So let's have a quick look at this. Ian Ampollo.
You know that won't work on me while I'm in here.
You've got less than a minute. We both know what body possession does to your kind.
I'm no ordinary spirit. I know what you are. Your knowledge and capabilities won't help.
Yeah? Who are you?
Let's just say that I am one of the original descendants of Jupiter.
What does Jupiter have to do with all this?
Where do you think paranormal beliefs originate from? I want you to stop Portunus.
Why?
Kalis is crossing a line they do not understand.
If you know about Portunus, why don't you stop him yourself?
Our two worlds have been at war for centuries. The situation with Kalis is complex.
My last name is Daniels.
Oh. Yes, that's right.
Well, I felt horrible. It seemed like in this divorce, all my ex-wife cared about was money. She drained my account.
Okay, that is all for this session, Mr.
But I wasn't.
Be sure to see Meredith at the front desk for this week's payment. Oh, and also remember that next week we start the new higher rates.
Wait, I'm sorry, we just gotta get back to this. How are your superpowers not the same thing?
Is this a part of therapy? You judging us by our powers?
Mrs. Fox, do you have any other hobbies besides crime fighting? And then you'll all be in trouble. Thank you, Mr. Bubble Guts, but I don't think that's going to be necessary.
May I have the cat?
Okay, that was short and sweet. Right. First off, Ian, you got a beautiful voice.
Yes, wonderful.
You have an absolutely beautiful voice, and I hopefully that you have a voice reel because you have a really beautiful quality to your voice. It's very nice to listen to, and I wouldn't start with you in the forest.
No.
Okay. Now, let me tell you how much of a pain it was for Ian to shoot that in the forest. He had to wear contact lenses that he couldn't see out of.
Poor thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and he has to move.
That's the tough thing. So you had to make sure that you had your lines learned really, really well. Okay, so I wouldn't start with that scene because it's
the weird one, and what we want at the beginning is to see you.
Right, and I'm going to tell you something which might be heresy right now. The scene when you're kind of in the therapist office, your sound is beautiful because you're sitting there and it looks like it was shot in a completely different location because of the nature of the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Microphones, for the most part, tend to be kinder on male voices because we...
Exactly, that's what's happening here with me and you.
Well, I'm terribly sorry about that. Sometimes they tend to be kinder with male voices, and the other thing is the acoustic sounds different in the two places. I would be, and it doesn't look like the same place. You're green, you're in somewhere green, and she's in somewhere white. I would be really sneaky. I would actually pretty much remove her reverse shot, okay, and put something else there. Right? It wouldn't really make too much of a difference. I know that sounds terribly cynical, but
they want to see you.
She's not helping you much there.
No.
Okay, and you have great presence and you've got this beautiful voice going on.
But not in the beginning.
Not in the beginning. See, the thing with the thing at the beginning is very impressive, and it's a kind of, look, I played an evil angel in the prophecy. Right, thank you. In the prophecy. I start with my eyes are black and all the rest of it. It was a special effect, thank goodness. But it wouldn't be the kickoff. It wouldn't be where I would start my reel. It's like, oh my God, they did that. Right? Oh my God, they did something like that. It's pretty cool. The other stuff is a little bit more useful for you. So let's go through it. Let's go through it quickly. Okay, so here we go.
Well, let's.
Right.
After that.
You know that won't work on me while I'm
after
in
that,
here.
Scott.
Right. Okay. If you want to cut it down, don't start with her. Start with you. Start with your voice off. If you were going to start with this, I wouldn't recommend it. Start with your voice off. I don't need to see her doing her.
Put that at the end. Believe me.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a long scene and it's not particularly.
No.
Well, I mean, it's shot with lots of coverage. You're fine. I don't like your ironic laughter, but that's something I say to everybody. This is your ironic laughter.
Who are you?
Let's just say that I am one of the original descendants of Jupiter.
What does Jupiter have to do with all this?
Where do you think paranormal beliefs originate from?
Is it here?
I want you to stop Portunus.
Why?
Kalis is crossing a line they do not understand.
If you know about Portunus, why don't you stop him yourself?
Our two worlds have been at war for centuries. The situation with Kalis is complex.
No, I didn't see.
Yeah, it's tough because it's not going to be the sort of thing you normally get cast in. Okay, you got cast in that because you're a big, good-looking dude with a great voice. Okay,
but you look small, because you are in the slope of the hill. It doesn't really, show your potential there. It's not a scary figure. It's badly shot, in my opinion. It's like it's like a student.
Well,
film.
I assume. Well, I guess it is, but I assume what happened is that she was working with him, and then we discovered that he was like one of the people that she's fighting. He seems to be some kind of infiltrator there.
Okay.
See, because the way he's got like an earpiece on. He's dressed like she is. He's wearing the same kind of body armor.
No,
it sounds like she's discovered that one of her squad is an infiltrator. It's one of those guys, like undercover alien.
I wouldn't put it there.
All right, so here, look, this is the curious thing with here, and this is for filmmakers in general. We got you there. You're sort of in shadow. It's a more somber shot. It's kind of closer, and you got a green wall behind you. Okay, which gives a certain thing. Okay, so then we're going to listen to you here.
His name is Daniels.
Oh. Yes, that's.
And then we cut to her, very pretty woman. But she's got this like horrible white background. We had this whole discussion yesterday. Once a week we have a group Zoom with the film family, the comunidad that they had, Familia de Cine, which you can find more information there on. And it was Rodrigo he shot a music video, and it was great and everything. But all the walls were so white. Okay, if you're going to shoot something, look, and I know that when we do self-tapes, they say put a white wall there. Okay, what they're wanting is something that's very neutral, because most people will have a white wall or a sheet or something they can use. But if we're shooting something dramatically, if you're shooting a short film, whatever it might be, try to avoid a white wall. It's hellish to try and grade it afterwards. Just a little tip. When I say grade it, means if you actually want to change the color of things in general. Okay, it makes things very hard. The interesting thing here is the difference in between your voice. Your voice, which is here.
The situation with...
Not that voice. Not that one. This voice.
My last name is Daniels.
Yes, that's right.
Well, I felt horrible. It seemed like in this divorce, all my ex-wife cared about was money. She drained my account.
Okay, that is all for this session, Mr.
But I wasn't.
Be sure to see Meredith at the front desk for this week's payment. Oh, and also remember that next week we start the new higher rates.
Wait,
Okay, right. Go buy a microphone. Go and do a voice demo.
Yes,
There's no reason why you shouldn't be doing video games and all sorts of other great voiceover work. Because you've got such a good voice.
Yes, and I don't know about these two scenes. I think one phrase would be enough, but don't put this other woman. It doesn't add anything. It just is a phrase of you, okay, but we want to show you only.
But it's good. Look, Ian, one of the things that you need to try and see if you can shoot it, see if you can make it. It doesn't matter. You need to put together something where you're playing some good, positive, high status roles. Okay, those are going to be the good things for you in terms of what your casting is. You can be the teacher. You can be the therapist, like you are in this case. You can be the lawyer. You can be the, somebody of status, of class, of all of those different things.
Yes, that would be great for you.
We just got to get back to this. How are your superpowers not the same thing?
Is this a part of therapy? You judging us by our powers?
Mrs. Fox, do you have any other hobbies besides crime fighting? And then you'll...
Yeah, look, we got the same thing again. We got great image, we got good acting. The other guys are fine. They're doing a good job. They're doing exactly what they should do. But it's just got to do with the presence and the voices. We can all visually filter image, right? We can all work out what's wrong with it, but it's with sound. It's really I think the great future that we're going to find in terms of short subject and short subject filmmaking and kind of low budget filmmaking is going to be how to do a good sound mix. And the real problem is it has to be done person by person, actor by actor, line by line, and sometimes word by word. That's how you really define whether this is like pro stuff. And that you can't just slap a filter on it. It's not that easy. Thoughts?
Well, I still don't find the good thing to show you, because you have such a wonderful voice that I want to have the same wonderful presence, and I cannot find it there.
Yeah, I think you might have to make it, Ian.
Yeah. It's too... It's shot in a way that...
Thank you, Mr. Bubble Guts, but I don't think that's going to be necessary.
May I have the cat?
It's shot in a way that it doesn't value enough.
The other thing, Ian, is that
you're a very handsome man.
You're a handsome man, and I have no idea what your ethnicity is, which is brilliant. I don't know. You could be anyone. You're more of the planet than I am. That's for sure.
You could be Filipino.
You could be Filipino. You could be Polynesian for sure. You could be
Mexican.
You could be South American. You
South
could be
American,
you
yes.
could be
Peruvian.
You could be you could be Native American, North American.
Yes.
You could be Canadian, like First Peoples. And you've got this awesome voice going on.
And wonderful face. I mean, you should really get into producing things for you that they are in the high status and shot it well.
Yeah, because you got a lot of stuff going on with you, and that's another thing. Please get a demo together, like a voice demo. I don't know where you are in the world. I think you might be in Washington. One of the great things is that in terms of voiceover work, video game work, it goes hand in hand right now. I mean, you look at something like Red Dead Redemption. They were literally shooting for more than a year. They had 700 days of shooting with all the different actors that were there, and this is another important aspect of our work.
I don't know if you are there. If you are watching us through YouTube afterwards, please say something. We love for you to comment on what we are saying. Like Anelia Samaropoulos, who say, I can thank you both enough for taking the time and effort to go so thoroughly through my show reel. Your guidance and suggestions are so very much appreciated, and I'm going to take every single suggestion that you've given and work and improve myself and create a much better show reel too. Thanks too much again. Thank you.
Anelia, look, the door is always open. This is one of our objectives here, is to share what we know, be completely honest, transparent, and positive in what everybody brings to us. That's really, really, really important.
If you really want also to work on your acting, please come. I mean, patreon.com/Assumpta Serna. Why? Because I think that you have great potential. That people in with your English, and you can do a lot of European work.
In your Greek.
Your Greek, which is great, because there is, for terms of co-productions, is a.
If I look at this picture, it looks like you also run marathons, and we know where the marathon comes from.
Greece.
Yeah, the battle.
So anyway, if you want also to have some classes, also come to us if you want to, because we can help you, and and we have people like you that we really have a breakthrough, and it's very nice when that happens. And Scott is a magician for that, and
I'm a magician.
We can help you.
I'm a magician.
You were very happy yesterday because some of our actors.
Yeah, we
really
genuinely had revelations.
Yes, that's
we genuinely had revelations. Look, Virginia Cipro, or is that Virginia Cipro? I'm not sure, but she says, "Oh my God, my show reel is like really bad, but it's all I could afford right now. Could I send my spotlight over? I genuinely love some feedback." Yeah, send your spotlight over. Look, I just invented this thing the other moment. Where did I put it? Oh God, I just.
Is Scott Cleverdon thing?
Yeah, where did I put it, Scott?
There, Scott Cleverdon.
Can you see it?
Yeah, here.
Is that it? No, that's my name.
Ah, okay.
No, I had it a moment ago. I said, oh no, there we go. Right, that's it there. Look, you can send it over to me, scott@familiadecine.com. Okay? But if you can, transfer me a file. Okay? I much prefer that than going to a link. Look, obviously we don't get around to doing, all the videos that were sent and the day that we're sent them, okay, but we try to do as much as we can. Somebody sent me some self-tapes, and I already emailed her because I don't want to review them live, because I have different things to speak to her about, okay? So it's not all applicable. The thing is, it doesn't really matter. Oh, look.
Oh, Ian is there.
Ian, thank you, sir. Thanks for being there. Look, it's awesome. Ian, what's your background? Where are you from? What's the story? Because it's absolutely magnificent right now for an actor like you, because you're kind of like, you have this sort of weird universality to you.
Yes, and the word is diversity, so we really.
No, but the thing is, look, diversity. I don't give a.
No, but I mean the idea.
No,
that
I know.
Now
I don't.
In all the productions where you are looking also for roles that they are not as usual as before, all American, all the.
Yeah.
So,
but you're good. You're very, very good.
Yeah.
But you got to have better stuff that can show off what you can do. Tell us. I know you're on Facebook right now. Tell us. Do you have do you do voiceovers? Do you do voiceover work? Do you have a voiceover demo? I hope to God you do, because you should. And if you don't, why not? Get on that. Really, get on that. If you need some more advice, or you've already got it, I'd love to hear it. You can send it to me the way you sent the one before. I'm absolutely fascinated. We're interested in anything that you can send to us, Familia de Cine.
Filipino.
Filipino.
Great.
There we go. Well,
and I'd like to keep people guessing for the sake of this business. Yes,
absolutely.
That's very good.
But
your English is American is very nice and everything, so don't worry about it.
Good. Well, I want to hear your voiceover demos.
Yeah.
Send them to me. I'd love to hear them because they're really, really good. I don't know where you are in the world, but you're an easy guy to sell.
Yes.
Because you have great presence, you look good. I've no idea where the hell you'll be from, and you got a delightful voice. And as Virginia said before, CPRO, like your photo by the way, send us them. Look, our objective here is, of course, first of all, to do no harm. We only have, you're in DC, okay, that's great. So we only have your best interests at heart, okay? This is our opportunity to help people in a way that we never got the help when we were actors out there in the world. There was no way that we could find somebody who could share an honest and a professional point of view. We've been teaching acting for the last 20 years. You have done over 200 movies. I've probably made more than 50 or something like that. You speak
Well, it's 115. I figured it out. Now I'm going to do
actually
116. Yes.
This is your 116th film.
And then it's 47, I think, shows on TV.
Is that all? So you're just starting?
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
I just want to rest.
Well, this is the way that we rest right now. So what we have the chance to do is we get a chance to share that what we've discovered through our work and our teaching. To tell people the things that I wish to God somebody had told me when I was like 20 years old. I wish to God somebody told me when I was starting out in film and television how it works.
Yeah, that's the why. Remember when we were doing class, we were saying, well, why is this motor? Why we really like it? How? And we learned so much, by doing it. And, one day we realized, why? Oh, that is the why. Because we want to do something that, we never got. And, it's really that. So, well, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, it's been a great session. But I just want to, we always get carried away. Just remember that if you want to send us anything, you can send it to me, which is scott@familiadecine.com. I am interested. If you want to send us ShowReels, please send it via WeTransfer. It's easier I can go to YouTube and work out how to download it and all the rest of it. But it'd be better if I have the good file. What we have in general is the difference now than before is everything is of a really, really high quality, which is wonderful.
Thank you for being there, and see you next Thursday at 8 p.m.
At 8 p.m.
We might Spanish time, but 7 London time.
That's 7 in London time, and a whole bunch of other complicated times, which I can never quite work out. I think it's like 3 p.m. in New York, and I think it's like...
Yeah, but don't say it if it's not good.
No. So, I'm not going to do it. But anyway, and also thank you very much. What we also do is that one of the things that happens when we're reviewing people's showreels and looking at their material that they send us, it always brings up important things about acting, and particularly acting on camera, which I think that we can all learn from in one way or another. Also, you can find us, all the things that we do live, they're also converted into podcasts for people who like to catch up, because a lot of people will listen to us and they actually are not, they'll be driving or they'll be running or whatever else like that. And I know that when Christina, who's always on a bicycle when she's listening to for us, for example. And thank you very much. I think it was Paulina who actually put Anelia onto us. Thank you very much for that. Anyway, it's great. Thank you very much. And remember, where you can send all these things, remember, if you're on YouTube, to follow the channel, hit the bell and subscribe and leave a comment. Have a look at the other videos that we've done that you can find in playlists. There's one that says all in English if you don't speak Spanish at all. Remember, if you're on Facebook, follow our Facebook page and give us a like and check out all the things we got there. Also, we have Familia de Cine. That has its own Facebook page right now. And it also has its own Instagram account, and there's great stuff going on there. I don't deal with that. Jesse and Robert, who are in the Familia de Cine, they're the ones who are looking after that.
Instagram.
Looking at that, and there's great stuff.
Great stuff, because it's things that they collect from what we say, from other people, from the Familia de Cine says, and they have all these very cute things to say to
it's
all
really
of
good.
us.
It's good fun.
I really enjoy thoroughly.
And they were the ones, Robert and Anthony Giordano. We have to give them a shout out because they converted your duel in the fencing master.
Oh yeah, it's true.
To celebrate nice. May the 4th be with you, they actually converted it into a lightsaber duel, which is magnificent.
The wonderful brothers, the Giordano brothers from New York.
That's a good name
for
them. The Wonderful Brothers.
The wonderful Giordano brothers.
Absolutely.
Did you see the thing that they did for the sofa couch? The couch.
Yeah.
It was very nice. The concert.
I was the one who posted it.
That was very, very nice.
Yeah, it was great stuff.
It's so good.
He sings well.
And they are so well compenetrated. Compenetrated? You say no.
No.
They are very well.
That sounds terrible.
Okay, they are very well in tune. No.
Yeah,
no,
I think you'd say.
I don't say
I don't know.
I mean that they are, the way that.
Oh no, I know
exactly.
Each other
so
I know,
so
understand
well.
exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I get it. Right. Thank you very much for tuning in today. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for the people who have been listening on Clubhouse. Thank you for the people on YouTube. Thank you for the people on Facebook. And thank you for the people on Twitch. It's always great to see you here. Remember, we're going to be here next Thursday in English. If you do speak Spanish, si hablas español, we will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. And I think we have an interview with an animator who they won the Goya last year for their film about Buñuel.
Very interesting.
It's really, really great, cutting edge stuff. So that will be 6 o'clock tomorrow. And as we always say, tomorrow.
On Thursday.
What?
Thursday.
Well, next Thursday.
Next Thursday for you English speaking people.
Yes, I'm going to say it in Spanish because I like the way it sounds in Spanish.
Okay.
Pues en jueves.
Más.
Y mejor. This is a very quick after show. We're not going to run the credits as we normally do. We just wanted to say thank you to everybody for turning up tonight. It was great to see you all. Remember, share this with your friends. Tell them what we do. We want to grow this community of all of us actors and people who are interested in film and television and improving ourselves, which we've been doing for the last year here, locked inside
our homes.
So,
but ever we had all this communication through the online world to also so many countries, so many people from all over the world.
Yeah. So
thank you very much.
We got great things coming up. Thank you very much for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, hopefully Thursday in the week that comes. Remember, you can send us your material, your videos. I'd love to hear Ian. I'd love to hear your demo tapes. I'd love to hear what's going on there. And thanks very much. It's always great to for you all to be here and make the world
a better place,
a little bit smaller and a little bit brighter. Thanks for now.
Bye.